So I'm gonna go ahead and play some music. Go ahead and take the time to reach out to your team, guys. I really want 100 people on. We got 40 to go, but we already got 60. Everybody just get one person in. We're at 120. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
This is the inner symphony of greatness, the epic soundtrack of success. I was born a champion. I was raised a champion. I got champion in my bloodline. I've always been a champion. I will always be a champion. When I close my eyes and die, I will be a champion. On my headstone, they will write champion. Every time they mention my name, they will say champion. My legacy is champion. My obituary will read champion. Every time they mention my name, they will say champion. Because I am a champion. Every day that I get up, I say good morning, champion. When I look in the mirror, I see a champion. When I go to the gym, I work out like a champion. When I eat like a champion. And the stuff I read makes me an even better champion. The stuff I put in my mind is champion. Because all day I am a champion. From sunrise to sundown, from the moment I open my eyes to the moment I close them, I am a champion. I pray, I think, I speak, I walk like a champion. No loss, no setback, no mistake will ever change that. I'm a conqueror, born to succeed, anointed to prosper, blessed and unstoppable, and I will arise out of the ashes because my God will not fail me, because I am, always have been, and always will be a champion. Greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. I can do all things because with God, all things are possible, and I am a champion doing the impossible. Failure is not an option. I refuse to concede because I'm a champion when I bleed. My blood is champion, and anything that stands in my way, I will go through it, over it, around it, because I am a champion. Nothing can stop me. Blessed and unstoppable. I am the undefeated, undisputed, never beaten champion of the world. The world says I'm a loser. I get up every day and go to war with that statement. They think I'm lazy. I'm hungrier than ever. Beast mode, I'm eating all competition. The devil says I've got no money. Money comes to me easily, frequently, and abundantly in God's perfect way. The world says I'm crazy. The world belongs to the bold. They remind me of the losses I've taken. They say I'll never recover. I serve the God of restoration. I will make a comeback. They say you can't pay your bills with dreams. Success will come off the assembly line of my mind. They say I only have average talent, hard work, and discipline are the great equalizer. Why don't you get a 9-to-5, a normal job that pays every week? Because I'm the head and not the tail, above, not below. I was strategically designed for greatness. It looks like your God has forgotten you. My God will never leave me nor forsake me. You really believe all that stuff you're saying? Destiny is obligated by universal law to concede to the demands of unwavering faith, and I believe I'm a champion.
Guys, how many of you guys believe you're a champion, right? Truly believe you're a champion. Type a number 1 or turn on your cameras, nod your head, and be like, Savior, I am a champion. I wake up as a champion. Everything I do it as a champion. Even when we feel like we're losing, we still win like a champion. Guys, look at Tom Brady, true champion, right? So I see we have our special guest on. What I want to do is I want to get myself out the way. Before I do that, I want to thank every single one of you guys. We have 123 people logged in, and even more and more are going to start coming. Guys, don't stop sending out those messages just because we're starting. They can't afford to miss this information. We have the person that's all the way at the top, and I said this earlier when people were logging in, the individual that's going to come on, I pray that it is in your goal, in your vision board to be where he's at today. And just to know that I met this young man 6-7 years ago, and I met him in Miami. And when I'm talking about he was probably at the lowest of the lowest in his life, that's when I met this young man. So the reason why I go so hard in this business, the reason why I stay so committed, the reason why I know I'm gonna continue to win is because he showed me that was possible. Not by telling me, but by doing it, right? I seen this young man go from Miami in the hood, living with his mom, sharing a room with his brother on Section 8 with multiple family members in that building, to now being able not to only buy a home for him, his wife, and their family and their kids, but more importantly to me, to buy a home for his mom, to be able to give her a key with the deed and say, Mom, you no longer have to worry. Mom, I seen you struggle enough that now it's my duty to make sure you're okay. And that's why I love this man. That's why I respect him. I'm talking about, I seen this young man go from nothing to where I want to be. I see this young man go from nothing to having everything but staying humble. I see this young man go from dirt to a high rise, but never stop working, even including today, because he always told me Xavier is way bigger than me. It's way bigger than you. It's the people that believe in us. Every decision is going to determine if they're going to have a good or bad life. That's the responsibility that we're given to us. So this man right here take that responsibility very seriously. Every single day he wakes up, he's constantly pouring into the team. He's constantly reaching out. Obviously, you see the platforms that he's been creating to be able to get the training. Guys, I respect this man because before him, these platforms weren't really available. The training were really not available. The websites were outdated. And just because of his influence, this company has done a lot of amazing things and we have reaped the benefits. So I want to get myself out the way and I want to bring in my brother, a good friend of mine, my mentor, the individual that introduced me to this business, our Pinnacle Senior Vice President, Alfred Nixon. Are you on?
Absolutely, absolutely, man. I appreciate the kind words and man, it's funny, man. I seen Greg put up a post today about a new something that he put together, and it brought back memories on when we was looking at another opportunity, and you guys had that condo, and we linked up, and I seen the growth, man, from not only just myself. Don't look at where we at now. Don't look at the finished product, so to say. I wouldn't even say finished product because we always growing. We always getting better. We looking to go to the next level and pull people up. But I want to share with everybody on this call that you can do it. You can win big. You can retire your family. You can go out there and but get your dream home, get your dream car, be able to donate to charities and be able to wake up to a point where you can build your own schedule, build your own life, travel in anywhere in the world. But it's going to take a price that everybody on here got to pay. You got to pay the price. And the universe know if you're paying the price, because the universe will never give you nothing that you can't handle. Or if you get lucky enough to get it, you won't be able to maintain it. It won't be for long. And so, man, I just got a tremendous amount of respect for Mr. Marrero. I seen this man pay the price, man. I seen this man drive hours to be at events when he had all of the right to say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to be able to make it. He didn't make any excuses, and that's why he's a senior vice president and one of the top earners in the company. So appreciate your leadership, man. We got a ton of leaders that's on the call today, man. Appreciate everybody for coming in. And today we wanted to talk about, we have a huge event coming up. I like to say that this is a relentless Super Saturday by way of Boston, by way of Massachusetts. It's going to be a huge event. And I've never been to Boston myself. I've never been to Massachusetts, and I'm extremely excited about coming out there. And I want to talk about the support that I want to encourage everybody on this call to come there. I think the tickets is what, maybe $40 or something around that range. I want to encourage everybody to come to that event, like get registered today, for that event. And here's what I'm doing. Whoever well, not just me and the leaders, the 12 people that got the most guests, we're going to have an overview. I don't know if we're going to do the overview a day before or a day of. We're still confirming that, but we're going to have an overview. Whoever have the most people, we're going to do. Riser, you can come in and correct me if I'm wrong. Are we doing this for guests or for people, the most people that got the most people on their team registered? So let me know about that, and then I'll make the announcement.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your leadership. Thanks for hopping on. I appreciate you. We're gonna do it for the agent with the most guests. Our main goal is to really have Massachusetts really see the big vision. I think it's what's been missing. We've been building it, but of course having all the leaders there. So we're going by guests. So basically the agent that gets the most people in the building to the overview. So we're gonna select 12 people, and then I'll let you announce the rest. But yes, it's based on the most guests brought in.
Okay. And so whoever have the most guests, when we have this event, we're going to have an overview. What we're going to do is a private dinner with the leaders. The 12 people that got the most guests, a private dinner with the leaders. On top of dinner, there's going to be a session where you can really talk to the leaders and get questions answered, or whatever it is you want to do with the leaders, man. You're going to have that opportunity to be able to do that. Obviously, you won't have to worry about any expenses. It's going to be covered by us. We're going to take care of that, but you'll have an opportunity to spend some time with the leaders, the people who have the most guests. We're going to select 12 people to go out there and do that. And so I want to bring you in, Reza, and also Natalie, and even if you want to chime in with some of the other leaders. Think about this, Reza. Remember when you joined the company? You in Tampa now, but you started everything in Massachusetts. Did you ever envision, this wasn't put on by me, corporate, Chet Seeley decided to do this event in your hometown, in the backyard where you grew up at. Did you ever envision it getting to this point?
We like to have big vision. And I knew that I was always, at the beginning was going to build to a certain level, but this just blew my mind. This is just next level. Like, we're talking about with the branding coming out, and this is a post convention. This is like bringing convention into the state. And to me, like, I get so emotional talking about it because I just remember being the first one to land there. And, so many people, I got rejected so many times. People said, no, you're crazy. This is a scam. This is a pyramid. No one believed in me, when I first started for the first month, 2-3 months, and I'm just like, I'm staying consistent, following your leadership, following my mentor, Xavier's leadership. And I'm like, if they could do it, I could do it. I really built on a foundation of one day we're going to put Massachusetts on the map. One day we're going to put Massachusetts on the map. Now, I didn't know how that was going to happen or if it was even going to play out in this way. But I knew that I wanted to bring something to my community. I wanted to bring something back. And this is an opportunity of a lifetime that's still in the beginning stage. And to bring this to our state is just mind blowing, because I feel like this is going to be where it really takes off, because people will see the bigger vision. They can see it versus us telling them about it, right? Painting it versus seeing it is a whole different story. And so I'm just super excited. Like, I want to cry. Like, when I found out, I was so emotional because we've been grinding, 3.5. I've been on this in FES UWE for, I'm going on 4 years in January. So we've been grinding it out to the point, and Xavier always told me, we used to be called the Mass Killer team, like that, because when I went out there, X was like, yo, the Mass Killers are killing it up there. And we've evolved and changed our name because now we're not just Massachusetts, we're all over the place, right? But that was the original. But I just thank Xavier for always, pushing me out of my comfort zone, and really telling me, Raisa, you got to start presenting. And there's just so many steps in between that has gotten us to where this is. And I really hope that people see like how monumental this is. Like, this is probably the biggest project of my life right now. And I'm really, really excited about it.
Man, I tell people all the time, when your why is big enough, the how doesn't matter. You didn't know how you was going to get an opportunity to have it in your hometown. And, one of my mentors, Bob Proctor, I posted something he said yesterday. He say, if you know what to do to reach your goal, it's not big enough. When I started this company, I seen myself at the time was a senior executive vice president. I didn't even have Pinnacle back then when I joined. I didn't know how I was going to get there, but I always had my, with the end in mind, and I was willing to go through the process. And I want everybody to know on this call, all 166 of you, that network marketing is not easy. How many people could agree with that? Like this takes work, grind, persistence, consistency, dealing with rejection, dealing with emotional stuff, dealing with people, ups and downs in your business. Like it's all a part of the game. Like I would never take nothing that I went through when it was times that I'm even at the level I'm at now. It was times I wanted to quit. Times I wanted to throw in the towel. When I was a vice president, it took me so much work to go from vice president to RVP, man. It was a lot of work to do that, man, to get that organization to get to that level. And so my message to everybody on this call is to keep going and go harder. Don't pause. Don't say, well, it ain't working. The universe, I'm telling you, if you commit, you cannot lie to the universe. If you commit, if you focus on the right activities, if you focusing on giving this thing your all, giving this your heart, having genuine intentions to serve and pour into people, that's the biggest payout in our profession, serving people. It's not about me. It's not about you. How many people could you serve? Like when you get into that mindset of serving, how could I help my team grow? How could I help them get promoted? How can I help them make more money? The funny thing about it, X, when I was coming up, before we got to the huge titles and the big residuals, my biggest paychecks when I was a vice president, ESD, RVP, it probably wasn't even my biggest production week. It was me more so of helping the team, helping them get promoted, helping them believe in themselves and growing them as leaders. And so what I would want to share with everybody, and I see Natalie put when you can get registered. Everybody do me a huge favor. The tickets is $40, man. We have an opportunity to support our leadership team that started this thing from scratch to really build something significant. Do me a favor and go in that chat. I know Natalie just put it, and go ahead and get registered. And we're going to look at it. You will be able to get the emails, Natalie and Ray's, as you guys see people. And what I want to do is the first, let's say, 50 people that register. Let's look at those first 50 people, and we're going to pull a random number, and I'm going to do something special. I ain't even going to say what it's going to be, but I'm going to do something special. Y'all can see those enrollments, and we're going to start from 1 to 50, the first 50. We're going to pick a random number, and based off whatever that number is, the way that they registered, I'm going to do something special for them. But I wanted to share this because I think this would be valuable to everybody here on this call. And the first thing I want to talk about is the 5 core fundamentals to building more momentum in your organization. This was a training I put together quite some time ago, but I think you guys will see value in it. And so, number 1, look at the top, what it say? Fire your upline. What do I mean by that? That don't mean like don't plug into your upline or you become abandoned or you start doing everything on your own. Basically, what fire your upline means is take ownership, take accountability of your own organization, of your own paycheck, of your own organization, your own downline, your own results. Don't blame your upline. Don't blame your downline. Everything is responsible, and my organization is based on me, not my upline, not my downline. Number 1, you heard Riser talk about it. Xavier encouraged her. He said, you got to learn how to present the UWE opportunity ASAP. Once you learn how to do that, you control your paycheck. If you scared to present, and listen, you don't got to be great. I've seen some of the worst presentations in my life. People still signed up because the people don't know when you mess up. They don't know that. You just got to continue to get better. I remember when we got a Jaya to do a presentation one time. She wasn't that good back then, but that built her confidence. And now she's doing presentations all over the country. Senior vice president, one of the top earners in the company, made over $1 million doing this. But she was a terrible presenter in the beginning, right? Number 2, learn how to launch your new agents as soon as possible. You got to have an onboarding system, not just signing people up. We got to get people playing it the right way. Number 3, we already talking about. Never miss any events that you qualify to attend. I'm going to say that again. Never miss any events that you qualify to attend that's right in your marketplace, that your team is promoting. Number 4, you got to be excited. You can't wake up negative, man. It's already hard to build this. You can't put the negativity around you. I wake up every morning, I'm praying, I have gratitude. I'm thanking God for everything I do have. I'm not getting upset and being negative for things I don't have, because I've came so far from where I was when I started this business. So you got to be excited. You got to be grateful. Number 5, never stop being new. Lead by example. Never think that you're too big to do the small things, right? My mentor always told me, say, Alfred, you either getting better or you're getting worse. You never stay the same. So always have that mindset to never stop being new and lead by example. And again, here goes the quote. You can't duplicate what you don't do yourself. Your team will work to the level of intensity of you and not even higher, and not even any higher. What do I mean by that? You can't go out there and tell your team to do something that you're not willing to do. You can't go out there and tell your team, hey, you need to recruit, you need to do this. They're not going to recruit because they're going to duplicate who you are. If you're not on the charts, if you're not recruiting, your team ain't going to recruit. You can't expect them to recruit at a level that you're not even recruiting at or building a team base. And so again, you can't duplicate what you don't do yourself. Your team will work to the intensity level and not any higher that you're already producing at. And so make sure you're leading by example, right? Getting in the trenches, one-on-one presentations, gathering up with your team. I did a call earlier today with 2 senior vice presidents and an EVP. Here's the thing that we came up to in the beginning of that call. The biggest thing in our industry, write this down, communication. I had to gather a call up with some top leaders, 2 SVPs and an EVP, right? Because communication wasn't there. And because communication wasn't there, it was things that people had assumptions about. And when people had assumptions, it was confusion. And we all know confused people do nothing. So I had to get on the call with the leaders. These are people that's SVPs and EVPs. So communication, don't always assume that your team should know this. They should do that. You can look at your organization and say, hold on, something ain't right, bro. His numbers never like this. Her numbers never like this. Something may be going on internally. Sometimes you gotta pick that call up. You gotta call that person to see what's going on in their personal life. Something could have been happening within, you never know. So have that relationship with your team. Bigger than money, right? Bigger than anything is the relationship. People will quit on the business before they quit on family. And so y'all have a huge culture here with Team Relentless, right? Again, momentum starts with you. You going out there taking whatever your organization look like right now, don't even worry about that. It starts with you. If you build into this event the right way, Razor, the event is in November, right? November, I forgot what the date is, but if you
November 6th.
November 6th?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So if you build into this event the right way, this is September, October, we got 2 months to promote. If you build into this event the right way, if you get enough people with you to the event, that event is going to create explosion for you going into the last 5-week volume month we got of the year, right? So momentum starts with you. Your work ethic shows through results. Everything else is a lie. I'm going to say it again. Your work ethic going to show through results. Everything else is a lie. You got to put in the work. You have to. Again, you are as close as you think to SVP, and you are as far as you think to SVP. Either way, you right. Man, I was operating as an SVP when I was a vice president. I was just waiting for the back office and the income to catch up. I always knew that I was going to get there. It's a lot of work to do. Yeah, I got to do $1 million in volume, but I always knew in my heart that I was an SVP. When I got the SVP, I always knew in my heart when they changed that comp plan, and I said, I'm a pinnacle. I just got to wait for my back office to catch up. So again, whatever you think, I don't know if y'all ever heard of the book, As a Man Thinketh, So He Is. You are as close as you are to as you think the SVP, and you as far as you think the SVP. Here's the truth. You're going to have ups and downs, ladies and gentlemen. It ain't no business in the world. The real estate market goes like this and then it go like that. The stock market goes like this and then it always has to correct itself. Nothing is never going to be like this forever, right? So you're going to have ups, You're gonna have downs. You're gonna have people that you thought was gonna be your leaders long term. Some of them gonna fall off. You're gonna have people that you thought was gonna build it big. They spoke a big game. They say they can go SD. They're gonna find out they're not gonna be in the business 2 or 3 months from now. So you're gonna have ups and downs when building this business. You attract who you are and not what you want. I'm gonna say that again. You attract who you are and not what you want. You attract your level of growth and nothing higher than that. So if you're on this call and you're like, damn, man, if I could just find me somebody that can like really get this thing. You know why you can't find them? Because you're not a person that's grew to a point where you could attract a leader that's at that level. You attract who you are, not what you want. And so you got to continue to grow in yourself, right? You got to have, everything needs to be in alignment. I'm telling you, it starts inside your house. If your house not in order, it's going to linger into your business. And then your business, like everything starts with you. You attract who you are and not what you want. Now, this was me at my first convention. We always talk about this. When we talk about building events, my first convention, thank God for Mr. Henry, man. He pushed me to get to that event. I had no intentions on going because I was a new person. I didn't think I needed an event, but Mr. Henry pushed me. Thank God for that gentleman, man. That's my mentor. I love him. Man, he blessed my life because he poured into me. I went to this event with Sam Frederick and another young lady named Leandria Holiday, right? Here's why events are important. This event instilled belief into me that took me to vice president in 60 days leaving that event. And then my second convention, this was me receiving my 6-figure ring. But this convention, I think I probably got 8 or 9 awards at this convention. This is where the start of my momentum came from, going to my very first convention and understanding how important events are. My third convention, I think I got my 7-figure ring, or one of them rings, I forgot. But it all started from my very first convention, man. It all started from the first convention because it built that belief. And then Mr. Henry was able to go out there and build an empire. And so understanding that recruiting is everything. We got to go out there and recruit. I was on the call earlier with the female leaders, and one of the things that they were saying was, Riza was on that call, Natalie was on that call, VG was on that call, some of the other leaders that was on that call. One of the things they were saying was, man, I want to recruit, but man, should I slow down and help people that I feel like I want to slow down because I think I may be leaving them. Ladies and gentlemen, understand that every successful organization recruits. You have to continue to recruit. Imagine Tom Brady been in the league longer than some people been alive. Tom Brady is different. But imagine if people kept people on their roster for 30 years in the NFL. You're gonna lose. You need new talent, new people every single week, every single month, building into your organization. So understand this. It's 5 groups that's gonna be in your organization. The first group is gonna be people that they in the business, but they never gonna promote the product. You're never gonna sign up, nope, they just in the business. The second group, they may refer people here and there. We call them social enrollers. They'll share it with people. The third group of people, we call them people that just bring in customers, right? They just refer customers. The fourth group is a recruiter. The fifth group is super recruiters. And so don't never feel like, okay, I gotta slow down to speed up. When the answer is recruiting, you need to recruit new people in your organization to find that small percentage of people that's going to do majority of your volume. And so again, recruiting is the answer. Every organization recruit. Get back to the basics, ladies and gentlemen. Getting people, when you get them in, and create a list of 100 names. Teach them how to have a grand opening and not just have 1 or 2. You need to have 5 to 7 just to position that person to build a structure off. Understanding, don't prejudge nobody. Some of y'all got people in your phone book that you haven't had a chance to even reach out to because you think they may not be interested, or you think this may not be for them. Having enthusiasm, learning edification, edifying the presenter, having confidence, never bad, and keeping this business simple when you get new people within your organization. And so we sort and never sell, right? We're not here to go out there and sell people anything. We're sorting, we're looking to find the right people that can really go out there and build our organization. And so some will, some won't, so what next? That should be your mentality. I'm looking for the right people. I'm looking for my next Xavier Marrero. I'm looking to find the right people. I'm not going to slow down on that level. You got to recruit at a massive level to really go out there and find those people, and also teach your new agents how to manage their emotions. If you don't do this, you can lose out on the vice president. If you don't prepare a person when they come in and let them know, listen, we need to talk to 25 people to get your first promotion. Listen, bro, the people that you think gonna join, they may not get involved. People that you think may not get in, they may join your organization. Your family and friends may not even support you, bro. If you don't let these people know this up front, man, when they start getting negativity, a negative spouse, a negative family member, a negative friend, they go quit. You got to be able to help your people manage their emotions. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys. I think that can add value in it. Again, you attract who you are. If you want more leaders in your group, you have to grow in your leadership. You have to grow in how you present yourself, how you can attract another person to join your organization, because that's who you're going to attract based off who you are and what you present to the atmosphere and to the universe. And so, again, I want to encourage everybody, man, to get registered for that event, man. That's going to be a phenomenal event. I'm excited with going to Boston for the very first time. And, man, huge shout out to Natalie, man, on the front line, out there in the trenches, putting this stuff together, building the events, putting the contracts together for the hotels, running around, making sure when we land and everybody plug in, man, that they have an incredible experiences, man. So certainly want to give it out to her. Ray's, I wanted to bring you back in, Xavier too. Natalie, I don't know if she's able to speak because I don't know if she's on mute or can't unmute. But just wanted to bring y'all in, man, to kind of share some other stuff, man, with building this event, because I know what it's going to be. And I know what this can do for the entire Relentless team. Again, this is going to be a super Saturday for Team Relentless by way of Massachusetts, by way of Boston. There's no doubt in my mind, just Relentless alone, y'all could bring 1,000 people just off your team, X, minimum. That's not even including, we got Connecticut right here, New York right there, Rhode Island. Like, this thing could be bigger than what we even did in Atlanta, bigger than what we did in Miami, just based off the commitment and the heart and the support level that you can have for your team, man. So, X, I'll turn it back over to you, man.
Yeah, man. First of all, Alfred, thank you so much for coming on. We know you're very busy. We understand that title requires a lot of responsibility. So for you to just take the time to speak to us, Team Relentless, it means a lot to us, right? So thank you for that, man. I always tell you every single time, I thank God that I've met you, because without your vision, without your leadership, without you taking action, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. Obviously, I'm a hustler, I'm a grinder. I was always going to be able to provide for my family. But to be in a platform that we're really out there helping people in a real way, not these lotions and potions, and then to create the income that we're creating in a short period of time, just understanding the industry. And we speak to so many other leaders, and then when we tell them the dollar amount that we're making in commissions, income-wise, they're like, man, what you made in 1 year, it took to 7 years. I remember when I spoke with John Malott. If you guys don't know who he is, look him up. Alfred gave me the honor. Alfred said, hey, X, flying to LA. I want you to meet this powerful individual. We went out, we had lunch or dinner. We had late dinner. And I remember I was speaking to him, and Bobby Kim was with us as well. And, he was just asking Bobby Kim and myself, about our success. That was our first year. We completed an entire year. And when we told him the income that we made, his jaw dropped. And he goes, wait, hold on. Guys, it took me 7 years to start making 6 figures. What do you mean you made 6 figures in your first year?
Yeah.
So guys, just understand that. That's the first thing I want to put out there. Because then I spoke with other leaders like David, who's the highest African-American paid in this industry. And when I told him that was the second year I was in business, and then I told him how much income I was making, he goes, X, it took me 12 years to make that income. But today he is the highest paid in this industry. Now, if that right there doesn't excite you, I don't know what will excite you. My second thing that I want to point out, what Alfred said earlier today, when he said he's so glad that Ashton almost harassed him to get to this event, right? Guys, that is important. I remember when Alfred first got me in the business. Alfred will tell you, a lot of people don't know this. I went inactive for almost an entire year. I didn't do nothing for almost an entire year. But Alfred reached back out. And Alfred said, X, I need you to come up to this event. Alfred, I don't know, I don't need the hype. I don't need the excitement. No. X, this right here is going to show you the bigger picture. We've been in network marketing before. We know about the hype. I know you don't need that. I need you to come because I need you to see the bigger picture. What Alfred didn't know at that time, guys, I was already dead broke and I was homeless. I was staying at home with my parents. My parents don't make money. My dad's a factory worker his entire life, right? What Alfred didn't know is that, honestly, I was almost dead broke. But because of Alfred believing and telling me how important this is, and God put it in his heart to help me a little bit without me saying anything, guys, I sold my Cuban link that I had at that time. I had earrings. I sold dumb. Yo, I'll show you the pictures. I was selling every single Jordan. You know why? Because people are like, X, this has value. This has value. You know what has more value? Me. The return on investment. Your best investment is within yourself. That gives you the best return on investment. That's the best ROI that you're going to get, period. So when Alfred told me how important it was, and I could tell it wasn't going to be a hype, I did everything in my power to make it to that event. And guys, this wasn't like we were in Tampa and it happened in Miami. We was in Tampa. He's telling me to go Atlanta, Georgia. I couldn't even afford a flight. I couldn't even hardly afford the gas.
Oh,
You know what? I told one of my friends, I excited him. I said, man, I'm about to be you got to be my boy. Alfred, guys, take notes, because right now, this is what you should be telling your potentials. Man, look, I'm going to go meet my boy, Alfred. This is one of the youngest millionaires in the nation. And I'm not telling you that because the money, I'm telling you because this is how many people he has helped. He's calling me right now to be up there. I want you to be next to me, because if he's going to help me, that means he's going to help you, right? And I was just hyping him up about all the possible things that can happen if we showed up. But if we don't show up, this will never happen.
Yep.
Guys, we showed up. And what Alfred didn't know, while there was in this beautiful hotel, right? I was across the highway in a motel that stunk. To the point I didn't even want to get my clothes out the luggage or out the little zipper, because I felt when I showed up the next morning to meet all the top leaders, I was going to stink. But guys, I didn't care. Every excuse I could have had, even when I got to Atlanta, Georgia, I could have used the excuse not to go meet with Alfred and show up to that meeting or to that event. But something kept telling me, X, this is it. Continue to take action. Because remember, faith without action is dead. So I said, you know what? I'm going to take the leap of faith. And Alfred never misled me. And as long as I know Alfred, he's always been very humble. And I ain't never heard of him screwing anybody over. So I said, God, if you put in the right place, the right person in my life, I'm going to follow him. I'm going to follow his lead. Whatever he says that we're going to do, I'm going to believe in it. And guys, that's all I did. Alfred always told me, Xavier, for you to be successful in here, stay close to the fire and show up to every single event. Because if you don't need the event needs you. And because of those words, guys, we became senior vice president in 3 years. So ask yourself, where do you want to be at by next year? And when I say next year, I mean by 2022. Because this event right here is going to create the momentum that you've been looking for, that we've all been starving for, to go ahead and set you up for 2022. But it's going to be up to you.
What you didn't even mention is the event to go to Boston is $40, I think, or somewhere around that range. Back
$39.
It was $500 to go to this event we're talking about. It was an event called Communication Mastery, and they was charging $500 for people to go to that event. We're talking about $40 investment. $500 may cover your whole trip if you play your cards the correct way and look at some of these deals, leveraging that travel portal that we got. And so just to see the commitment and the sacrifices that X made, that one event got him sitting in the chair that he's sitting to right now. If I would have never reached out to X, He probably would have never got back into the company. Therefore, nobody on this call be on this call right now. And so for him to see something and go to an event that led into him building a multi-million-dollar business, I mean, come on, man. I mean, if I was you, the question is, we got 180 people on the call right now. That means we should have 180 people registered like right now. It's $40. My question ain't is if you coming. My question is how many people you bringing? Because here's what I look at when you build in this industry, you build from event to event. And if you play your cards right, building into this event, November, guess what we got coming out of that event? Another 5-week month, the last 5-week cycle to go into the new year. And if you come with people, if you bring a team, if you start even recruiting people in that area, if you bring guests, man, that's going to set you up for 2022 to be the best year of your life, right? Think about the X coming from that event a year later where you was at, bro.
Bro, I'm going to put it like this. Coming from that event, I was almost struggling, right? Coming from that event, before you know it, we had sales director. The following month, we had regional sales director. We almost skipped ESD and we went to vice president. And that was just 9 months into the business. I also hit the R&R. And I remember this day, Alfred, I was at the airport about to go rent a Corvette because I just got like a $6,500 paycheck. And you hit me up and you congratulated me on the R&R. And I'm like, bro, it's crazy because right now I got a repo on my credit. So I can't go pick up the car, but I'm gonna go rent this Corvette, right? And because of that event, it created that. But check this out, and I say this in a humble way, but because of that event, I was able to make $157,000 that year. And we didn't start in January. Like, think about that. So again, I tell people money's not everything, but it's up there with oxygen. We must need it to survive. Money doesn't buy happiness, but it's a good down payment. Ask Alfred, you know what I mean? Right? So I have to tell you this, man, after that event, my vision was super clear. After that event, I was a horse with blinders and all I did is see the goal. And that's all we started doing. To today, we still haven't hit that goal because until I'm not saying where Alfred's saying, we have not accomplished it. And it's funny because even Alfred saying where he's finished at now, this man works harder than me, like if he's a brand new agent. So that's what keeps me fired up. But it also allows me to be around him around these events. See, it's different. Me and Alfred, we could communicate. We sometimes communicate every single day, but a phone call is different, a webinar is different. But when I'm next to this man, the energy that I get, the conversations that I'm able to have are completely different. So when you go to these events, guys, don't go there to try to just hang out and chill and party. Do what we did. I used to pull Alfred to the side, whether he liked it or not. I used to pull Ashton to the side, whether he liked it or not. I used to pull Mike Mergles to the side, whether he liked it or not. I used to pull Bruce to the side, whether he liked it or not. Verlesky, these guys are killing the game. Do you see how Bruce trained? I tell him all the time, bro, I can't wait till I train like you. But that's why I go to every single event, because every single time I take some notes and I'm like, yo, Bruce just said this or Bruce just did that. Oh, I'm using that next time and I look much better. So these events will change you physically, mentally, and financially, and sometimes even spiritually. I'll give it back to you, Alfred.
I'm gonna share with you guys what's available for everybody. And what got us to this level was events, man. If I would have never went to that first event, I don't even know if I'll still be in the company. I don't even know if my belief would have been built up enough to handle the rejection, to handle the ridicule, to handle the, personal issues, the family stuff. My belief probably would have never been that strong. And it wasn't a crazy investment. It was $300. And so I probably would have just been, man, forget this. I'm gonna go back to what I'm used to and get in my comfort zone and go back to working and getting paid at my job every week. But it was because of events that built something in me, and not necessarily just the event, Xavier, as what you mentioned, the hallway conversations, man. The people where you can go to lunch, go to dinner, talk to somebody in the hallway for 10, 15, 20 minutes. That's all you need to go back home and get into your next level. And so these events, I'm going to share with you guys, this is just since 2019. Since 2019, FES has paid me over $8 million. This year ain't even over yet. 2018 was 1.5 million. Last year was 3.6 million. So far this year, over $3 million. It came from being at events, and not just being at events by myself. I understood the power of getting my people at the events. And so that's why I reached out to X. Because I said, X, I knew he got something in him, but if he get in this environment, he could tap into the fullest potential inside of him and go pinnacle. And that's what he's building right now. And so what I just shared with you, that was just since 2019. FES has paid me over $10 million. The year before that, I made 1.4 million. The year before that, I made over 500 and some thousand. My first year, I made 168,000. And so if it's available for me, it's available for you, but you got to go all in. It was times where I said, you know what? I ain't going out. I ain't going out on the weekend. I was focused because I wanted to use that money that I go out on the weekend in and brand myself, paying for shout outs, investing into this person, investing into that person, getting to events. I remember when I got Alyssa Barnes started, I said, hey, I need you to do me a huge favor. He said, what's that? I say, check your phone. She said, what's this? I said, I just paid for your ticket to be at this training. It was a Secret of Success training, X, in Atlanta. This was her first week in the business. That training gave her the foundation and the belief to go senior vice president, 7-figure earner today. And so I want to encourage you guys to really give this your undivided attention. Understand that business goes like this: up, down, up, down. The people that probably got you the sales director, in most cases, they may not be the people that help you go RSD. The people that help you go ESD, they may not be the people that get you over the hump to go in vice president, and vice versa, and so on and so forth. And so we got something incredible that's happening in this company. You guys are part of one of the largest transfer of wealth in the history of our country. I just got off a call before this call with a gentleman that was with a company 12 years, bro. This man got 30-something thousand people active in his downline. He's making like 35,000 a month. I said, bro, you barely making $1 a person. When I shared with him what I just showed with y'all, man, this man almost fell out of the chair. He couldn't believe it. He got a bigger organization than I do. And so we got something special, but you got to tap in. You can't be soft. You can't say, man, damn, man, you got to go do this thing. You got to go talk to every single person you know. You got to go really dig into yourself. And if you feel like you ain't, like, you got to develop skills. Like, you can't just be on the trainings. You got to develop skills where you can go learn at the trainings, develop these skills, and then go take action in your marketplace. And so, Natalie, I want you to come in if you're available to speak and just kind of share your vision too. I know we're going to wrap up. We've been on for quite some time, but also share your vision, what you have for math. We appreciate your leadership for, going out of your way to put all of this stuff together. And again, if somebody can post this in the chat again, go put the link there where people can get registered, and we're going to do something special for those first 50 people. We're going to pick a number and do something for 1 or 2 people.
Thank you so much, Alfred. I appreciate your leadership. Thank you for even just coming on and just pouring into the team, for Relentless and Xavier. I appreciate you, and Raisa as well. I was harassing, I've been harassing you, bring a Super Saturday to Massachusetts. This is why Worcester's the best city to do it in, and we're central. Boston's an hour, Springfield's an hour, Connecticut's an hour. Everything is so central. And so, when they put the call out to Boston, it was back and forth emails with chat, and it was, the person that has to do it has to take the responsibility. There has to be a VP in the area, and they have to do this, that, whatever. I'm like, all right, whatever, lay it on me. I got connections. I used to work in hospitality. So the place that it's at, I used to actually work there. So, and the hotel links and discounts and stuff. Like I have people in the cities that I know as well. So it was really cool to be able to just kind of reconnect with those people and just build this. But guys, like get your ticket, like get your people on, because this is gonna be massive. When I tell you that me, Raisa, Xavier, Alfred, we're gonna make sure that this is the best event for post convention. This will be the best one out of all 8, and I can guarantee that because we're just gonna make it happen. Like there's just no ifs, ands, or buts. You guys are coming to New England for the first time. We're showing up and showing out. I already was laughing with Kendall, and I already told Kendall he's gonna have to put his stuff on the way they had it at convention with the dancers and stuff. I'm gonna get the African dancers to come with the drums and everything. No, I'm just kidding. But listen, guys, it's gonna be massive. And what we're trying to do as well is for those people with the Spanish team, with the that speak Spanish. There's a lot of people that speak just Spanish. We are trying to grow. So I know we didn't touch on that. So real quick, just so you guys know, I have top leaders, Xavier and Raisa. We've all been talking to top leaders so that we can try to create a whole actual event so that it's not a separate room where you're listening to what's going on from audio. It's not a separate room where you're just going to see things on a screen and it's translated. No, we want to go ahead and bring an actual event in Spanish right next door. So we have Spanish and English going in and just being, and nobody else is doing this. So that I know of. So basically it'll be its own post convention, because even at convention, they didn't have, a Spanish thing. They had to listen through the headphones. So to be able to see, these top leaders like Giselle be there, live, like she's super powerful, and to be able to have her and her team back us up. So I guess I let that one out, right? But she's confirmed to come over. So we got a lot of top leaders coming. So that dinner, you don't want to miss it. It's gonna be at my restaurant, but we're gonna, it's gonna be super dope. Alfred's gonna be there. I'm not even gonna say some of the other names, but there's big names that are gonna be in the building too, along with that. So, I'm just super excited, guys. Like, to be able to be, one of Raisa's vice presidents, be here in her home state and everything, and still be able to, pull this off and see the vision, and walk, in just in the same path. We're on the same wavelength. Her, and Xavier and I, we've been on the same wavelength. So to be able to, bring this to the team, and show up and show out for a relentless event is super, super exciting. It is a lot of stuff behind the scenes that you guys don't see, but it's gonna be super dope. So I appreciate you guys. I could confirm that there's been, I think, 13 tickets bought since this webinar started. So definitely get on. Leaders, get tickets for your teams. Like Alfred already said, he wants 200 today. So we got about another 100 we gotta sell.
7 people and 13. See, this is what I share with people on getting to the next level. It was times when people thought I was crazy. My own family called me delusional because I said, or people said in my circle, well, you should go to the events when you start making the money. If you have that mentality, you would never make the money. I went to events. I remember me and Mike Burgos, we went to an event where we landed in Los Angeles, actually where I live at now today. Before I lived out here, $0 in our pocket. We used to have to sneak into the hotel across the street from where we stayed at, and we act like we stayed there so we could get the complimentary breakfast, because we didn't have no money to eat with for the weekend. Slept in rooms with 10, 15 people. That was what it took. That was the sacrifice. If somebody would have showed me my life today, the reward, the end result on the sacrifice I made, and we talking about $40, bro. Don't get it. That's basically you signing up a protection plan. You getting your money back. That's already getting the ticket out of the way. And then you start building into your flight. Then you start building into a room, and then you start rooming with other people. But I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, you have to invest in yourself. That's the biggest investment that you can make. You could never lose with an investment in yourself. As soon as you invest in yourself, you immediately gain equity in your own investment. It's in you. You can never lose into that. And so if you're thinking like, well, I can get the ticket, Alfred, but I don't know if I want to go. I don't know if I'm coming out, a plane ticket. I can't find a babysitter. This thing is 2 months away. We're in September. This is in November. Eric Worre always say, commit, go tell the world and figure it out. Right? Go tell the world and figure it out. And so investing into those $40 into yourself, that's already the commitment. You go tell your mentor where you want to be at, what position you want to be at when you go into that event, what position you want to be at in the last 5-week month of the year. If you can build this thing the right way, that way, I'm telling you, man, you can go from your organization feeling stagnant or you may feel stuck to hitting momentum and being one of the success stories and testimonials for the next events. You could be talking how Xavier is talking on how that event impacted his life. Now he's a senior vice president. When I reached out to you, Xavier, what, you was a field trainer back then?
Bro, I was a field trainer. I didn't even know I was a field trainer.
And so from that to senior vice president because of an event, him making a decision to come, him investing into himself, him getting in the car and driving miles to be at that event. That was the commitment he took. That commitment has paid him a fortune. Most people would have been like, nah, you know what? It's easy for them to say that at the top because they got the money. I got to get a babysitter. I got rent I got to pay. I got this I got to do. My check yesterday wasn't the best in my FES career. I didn't make that. You got to invest in you. And that's going to grow the paycheck long term. Don't never let your current circumstances affect where you're going to your final destination. And so that being said, I like to keep the calls about an hour because I know we all busy. But X, I'm gonna turn it back over to you. Natalie, Razor, continue to keep me posted on the registrations. And once we get 50 minimum, let me know. We're gonna pick a random number. I may ask my daughter to say if you give me 2 numbers and we're gonna pick whatever number that the people enrolled. And we're gonna do something special for them. And so X, I'm gonna turn it back over to you, the man, to share any closing remarks.
Definitely. Alfred, again, thank you so much for your time, for your wisdom, everything, your lead. You're just constantly just paving the way for us. So again, thank you for that. But also, guys, man, I want to give a huge shout out to Natalie, just because I did witness the back and forth. I did witness, I'm going to convince corporate that this is the city. And she definitely accomplished that goal. So shout out to her for that. Shout out to Razor, for her leadership, mentorship. And I remember Razor mentioning that years ago, like X, our state, because of me and my team, this state will be on the map for FES. And guys, back then, there was no such thing as now UWE in that entire state. So that's a big accomplishment, not just for Razor, but a huge accomplishment for Natalie as well. So shout out to you two as leaders. Shout out to the entire market, the entire team who's constantly just killing it without too much support up there with from corporate. But again, we're growing. So look what's happening, right? Corporate is definitely tapping into these markets. But I definitely wanted to put that out there, man. Without these two boss ladies, this wouldn't happen. Natalie took the initial and say, I'm gonna make it happen. Razor came right behind her and said, I got you. I came right behind that, said, let's run it. They got Alfred involved. Alfred was like super excited just because he understands what that's gonna do. Guys, just remember this. And Alfred, correct me if I'm wrong. This is the first time in our company's history to do an event in Massachusetts.
Yeah, as far as I know, I've never seen an event done in Massachusetts or Boston. I've seen events done in New York, Connecticut. I don't recall too many like corporate events or Super Saturdays. Nah, this would be the first of its kind. So this is a pretty big deal.
This is the first. We're going to claim that this is the first, right? And because of Relentless in a humble way, and because of our leader, Alfred Nixon, our leaders like Razor, our leaders like Natalie, and so many other leaders, David, you have Arnold on there, Bruno, Rob, VG. You have so many different leaders that honestly just played a big role, but these two leaders definitely went out their way, especially Natalie. I was so amazing. I remember the conversations me and her having is to the point where she's like, I want to fight corporate, right? Like, I'm going to make this happen, right? So again, and then with Razor as well. So I want to just say thank you to you guys. I want to say, I'm definitely going to see you guys out there. I remember Alfred did this a couple years ago, and I'm like, man, Alfred is bold for that. But you know what it was? I'm glad that he did it because it kicked a lot of us in the butts. And it made us open our eyes real big. Like, yo, hold on, Alfred, you saying this? So I'm going to say the exact same thing. With all due respect, the ones that I know can make it for sure. If I don't see you on that super Saturday up there, I'm going to be honest. I don't think I'm going to be that available for you going forward because I want to really work with the ones that are committed. And Alfred, as my leader, do you think that's fair? Do you think I'm going a little bit overboard or do you think that's fair?
Man, in our former company, that was the standard. If a person wasn't able to show up to an event, and mind you, in my former company, man, we had 4 conventions a year. It was tough. That's like every quarter we have a convention traveling all over the country, and that's not even including Super Saturdays and regional events. And so the standard for that person was, if you're not at events, I'm not working with you. And the reason they did that is because the time investment, I remember one of my mentors said, why would I invest my time into somebody that's not even willing to invest in themselves? That makes absolutely no sense. The questions that you're probably going to ask me, you would have got at this training. The skill sets that you need me to hold you down with, closing people, you could have got at this training. So why would I take time out of my day to dumb down this for you when you could have got the same information that I invested in myself to get when I didn't even have any money? I went to events with no money. My mom said I was brainwashed. What are you doing? These people got you going all around. You ain't making no money. You traveling to these events. But see, you got to understand that people don't know what they don't know. They only can see but so far. So my mom was just trying to protect me. But I had a vision that was so big, and it allowed me, it included me getting around people that had the lifestyle that I wanted. So people didn't have to convince me to come to the events. I was excited to go meet these people and have a conversation and pick their brain on what they did to get what they got. And if I can just take a nugget from what that person did and implement it in my place and go back home and build, eventually I can get what they have. And so for people that wasn't willing to commit, it just mentally, it was a disconnect for me because I made so many sacrifices that most people wouldn't make. And that's why I have a lifestyle that most people don't have, because they're not willing to pay the price that the people at the top is willing to pay. And again, we all got problems. Don't get me wrong. We all going through things in personal life, finances, but I can tell you right now, the biggest people that's at the top of the company, it was the sacrifices they made. I remember getting Bruce to come to an event in Detroit. It was the sacrifices he made. It was 7, 8 people to a room. It was the sacrifices he made. Now he's a 6-figure a month earner. Valesky, Mike Burgos, they came to a convention. They made a commitment. They didn't even have the money to get a room. I got them a room. Look where they at now. $1 million earn. Like, you gotta make a commitment into yourself to get around the right people, to get the information, to develop the skill set for the legacy for you and your family. So that's not harsh at all, man. That was the standard in our former company. If you wasn't at events, you call that person for a 3-way, straight voicemail. They're not doing that call for you. They invested time into the people that invested time into themselves. That's where they spent their time at. No hard feelings to anybody else, but they just didn't see themselves committing to somebody that wasn't willing to even commit to themselves. And so I want to encourage you to commit to yourself, to your dreams, to your goals. What was the reason you got into UWE? What you see for yourself? What does freedom look like? Right? You may be one event away from getting that breakthrough. My mentor always told me that's why I was so scared to miss events. He said, Alfred, the events you miss be the events you need to get to the next level. Yep. So I was always scared, like, damn, what if I miss this event that can give me that one nugget that I can finally get momentum? And so I was at every event. That's why my mom thought I was crazy. Going to all of these events, asking her, hey, man, you can loan me $100. I was committed. And I knew one day, if I was committed long enough, eventually it will show up in my results. It'll show up in my paycheck, and it'll show up in my lifestyle. And so you have to commit. You have to be a person that's going to make the sacrifices. You have to be all in. You got to look at your reason why. And I started this call off by saying, listen, when the why is big enough, The how doesn't matter. You may not know how I'm gonna get that plane ticket, how I'm gonna get that hotel room. Yeah, Alfred, I got the $40, I can get the ticket, but man, I don't know how I'm gonna get that hotel room. Listen, again, commit, tell the world, and figure it out later. Get your ticket today, and we'll figure out everything else later. And I guarantee you, coming out of that event that we're gonna have in Massachusetts, your mindset won't be the same. Your life won't be the same. Your business won't be the same. Going into a new year, everything will change for you, but you have to make the commitment for not only yourself, but for your family, for your legacy. And it starts at events like Massachusetts. So, man, I'm excited. I can't wait to see each and every one of you as we make the rounds and hit different events, and especially out there in Massachusetts. And Razor, definitely keep me posted as people start coming in. Natalie, as people start registering, we want to definitely pick those 2 people and do something special for them.
Definitely. And I'm gonna end it like this, guys. Look, Natalie, Razor, do me a favor. The next 10 people that registered, right? Send me their names, but this is what we're gonna do. The next 10 people that register and can also show me an enrollment from going as of now forward, I'm gonna pick 2 people and I'm gonna pay for their plane ticket and their hotel stay. But you already have to purchase your ticket.
Ooh.
You already have to purchase your ticket. I'm buying your hotel and I'm buying your plane ticket for 2 agents, but it's the next 10 people that take action. It's all about taking action. Take action right now. They're already on standby. They're gonna let me know. And some of you guys might be only spending $40 for this training that's gonna change your life, gonna change your career. That's how I'm gonna leave it, all right? So guys, man, I see you guys at the top, like how Bruno always says, I see you at the bank, right? Let's stay focused. Let's go out there and genuinely just focus on helping other people. Alfred already said it, and he's all the way at the top. Don't focus on the money. Focus on the people. The money comes from the people, right? It's that simple. So again, thank you guys to Alfred. Thank you to corporate. Thank you to all the leaders that are in this webinar today. I love you guys, right? And thank you to Team Relentless. Guys, understand this. We would not be relentless if it wasn't for every 162 people that are here right now. We would not be relentless. David wouldn't be where he's at. I wouldn't be where I'm at. Razor wouldn't be where she's at. So many other leaders just won't. So I want to thank you guys, because with you makes us. And you guys will be the next one up. Just like how Alfred started for an agent, then went to VP, then went to Pinnacle. That's exactly how we started as an agent, and we hit VP. Now we chasing that Pinnacle. So I don't care where you at. You can make this happen. And stop trying to go ahead and compare yourself to others. It's not going to work. Go ahead and race this in your own speed. And I guarantee you, you're going to get to the finish line. So guys, thank you so much. Have a blessed and productive day. I will be waiting for those 10 names, and I will be picking somebody hopefully by today, 2 people. Let me correct myself. All right. So guys, thank you so much. Have a great and blessed day. Take care. I'll see every single one of you guys at the top.
Thank you.